warm the hands up because it's quite cold, and we are live streaming on StreamYard on Facebook, and live streaming on TikTok at the same time. Gotta go more live on TikTok and have some more action on TikTok, which is the platform to be on, apparently. Right, I'm live on Facebook and on TikTok. Good afternoon, the Midday Report with me, Casey Caro, in the house. The one you love to love, the one you love to hate. If you're a lover, welcome on board. If you're a hater, welcome as well. We welcome everybody to the program. Hopefully, I'll get to see your comments on Facebook as they come up. Right, there we go. We are good to go. And also live streaming on TikTok. Good afternoon. It's Wednesday, the 9th of June. Getting halfway through the year. And how's the weather in your area? Pretty cold here in the coldest room in my house. And good afternoon and welcome. Right. Give a few more seconds for you to log on. Good day, Casey. Says, how you doing? Says Ashika. Much better, much better. Was a bit fluid this morning again. Still the queasy feeling in my stomach, like sort of diarrhea-ish, but not diarrhea, like you want to go, sort of thing. Still a bit queasy, mouth still a bit dry. I'm still having still hydrating with the energy. Thank you, Marlene, for asking. Welcome, Kubasi, Naika. Our regulars coming on the Midday Report. Lots to talk about, and let's kick straight into it. Right, good afternoon and welcome. It's the Midday Report. Me, Casey Caro in the house. If you're new on TikTok and joining us, it's the Midday Report. It's what we do every afternoon. Nidhi says she's having lunch. I didn't have lunch yet, although I had a late breakfast. Lovely breakfast with my wife. She made brown toast. Where are you located, Tayyip? I'm in Johannesburg in 4 ways. Santon in my Lani estate, apparently. Shirley Reddy from Tonga says, how are you feeling? Subhash actually says, Casey, hope you're feeling much better. Indeed, I am. For those of you who didn't know, I've been out with the flu symptoms. COVID test came back negative, and no other COVID symptoms. So that's good to go. And I'm ready. I got to be at a gig this weekend, so I'm glad that I'm feeling much better. And so good afternoon, welcome. Lots to discuss. If you want to get hold of me on this number, 073-767-5836. You can call me live on the program, 073-767-5836. If you're on Facebook, you can share it on your platform. Just click the share button at the bottom and you can share faces. How are you on TikTok? How are you doing there? So I will do more live feeds on TikTok as well. If you want comedy, you don't necessarily get comedy here. We just talk current affairs and things that are happening. For example, what did you have for lunch? I said my wife made me like a brown toast with cheese and a tomato on it. Thought you said you had your wife for breakfast. She made a nice brown toast, the whole wheat bread, thick cheese, and a slice of tomato with a cup of coffee. That was brilliant. It was like a midday lunch, brunch. So keeping the eating down as well, trying to watch what I eat. I had lots to discuss today on the program. We got another 25 minutes to go. Hello, Kritika Deepnaran joins us from Peter Mansburg. Good afternoon, Kritika. You are late, by the way, darling. But welcome to the program. My TikTok is losing connection, but don't lie, you had still better for Well, if you know that I had still better for lunch, Vladimir Putin, that's okay with me. If you know that I still better for lunch, that's okay. So you obviously know more than me what's happening in my posy. So there's a call coming through there. So Vladimir, you obviously know more than me what's happening in my house. Bring the vodka, Vladimir. Bring the vodka. So that was lunch for you guys. Jake Parasuraman is a regular on TikTok, says Kandasamy was awesome. Indeed, the Kandasamy was awesome. I just released a TikTok video about my feelings about the Kandasamis. I rated it mother, I rated tops, and good family entertainment. We did talk about that quite a bit. But let's move on from what is for lunch. Zweli Mkhize, the Minister of Health. Is he still the Minister of Health? I think Zweli Mkhize apparently now is going on special leave. There we go. I wish I could commit a crime, commit something, and then just put me off for special leave instead of like attacking me and put me in prison or arrest me or something. Just put me on special leave, commit a crime, steal money, rob people, do sort of things, and then you just get put on special leave. Isn't that fantastic? Apparently, he put himself on special leave, and then Cyril Ramaphosa put him on special leave. Nobody knows what is the real story there. But 150 million rand contract to Digital Vibes, Nadira, and what's the other girl, Martha there. What is special leave? Special leave is where you might park Dom for a couple of months and get paid a full salary. Did they talk about docking his salary? I don't think so. That's not what I heard. He's gone on special leave, which means you've done a shit, you're under investigation. Here's your punishment. Go sit by the posy, do fuck all, and get paid and get the perks. That's your punishment for not sticking to the rules. So it's where you'll say, yeah, leave my park Dom by the posy. Just my park there and see what he can do, what else he can cover. 150 million rand contract. By the way, if you watched my video, I did a phone call to William Keyser. Those who didn't see it, get onto my fan page, you'll see it there, or get onto my WhatsApp group, you'll find it there, or we'll send it to you. William Keyser, Digital Vibes, by the way, Digital Vibes was owned, the owner of Nadira and the other lady, what's her name, the Martha lady. I'll talk about the 45 million just now, Nicolene. Nadira and what's the other ladies, and Martha, I can't get the first name. They're not the owners of Digital Vibes, by the way. The owner of Digital Vibes is a lady, some Hariram, what's her name? Radhika Hariram, who works at a filling station in Stanger, Kwadakuza. Yeah, she works at a filling station. So during the lockdown, she was filling petrol, checking tire pressure, checking oil. This is the owner of Digital Vibes. The owner, according to the paper of Digital Vibes, the owner, Radhika, I think it was Radhika Hariram. Yeah. During the lockdown, she was filling petrol in Stanger. So they say that she couldn't come up to Joburg, she couldn't sign the contract, she left Nadira and others in charge while she was filling petrol in KZN because, of course, she couldn't come up because of the lockdown issues and whatever, right? She was interprovincial travel was banned, she couldn't come up. But then there's a matter of in 2018 or 2019, Digital Vibes signed another multi-million rand contract with Kokta. And at that time, Radhika Hariram was working full-time for this garage, filling station. She was working full-time there. She was employed full-time. And she was owning Digital Vibes. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. And nothing is, everything is possible. Government, nothing is impossible. She could be working at the garage and owning Digital Vibes with the multi-million rand contracts, but she still needs to make, look, everybody got a side hustle, right? She got a side hustle, she's parking. Maybe she likes the smell of petrol and she likes checking tire pressure. You never know that this old Digital Vibes thing wasn't their vibe. She was making money. Bowser Boy says, Niri. Yep, and she worked at a filling station in, and the narrative there is that she was just a front. Look, I'm not saying it, the narrative is there, that she was just a front, that William Keyser and his members with the Nadiras and all were operating. Not my place to say, but that's what the narrative is going around, whatever. And you will be the, as I said in my video, either Radhika Hariram was one superwoman managed to pull all that off, or we are all Sutmaris to believe that that is what was happening. So good afternoon, welcome on live on two platforms. I'm live on Facebook and on TikTok. I'll try to go live a bit more on TikTok as much as I can and post more where I can as I get time. Other big story hitting the headlines, by the way, on the Midday Report and coming through now. If you guys remember the VBS scandal, that was last year sometime, the VBS scandal came out. The EFF was heavily implicated, Floyd Shivambu and Julius Malema, and one of the biggest culprits fingered there was Floyd Shivambu's brother, Brian Shivambu. Now, if you remember clearly, Julius Malema and Floyd Shivambu came with guns blazing out, denying holistically, emphatically, that they had nothing to do with this. They had nothing to do with the VBS scandal, that the monies were paid, whatever. Floyd had nothing to do with it. And they were in the clear, the hands were clear. Remember, the EFF claims to be champions of the poor. They are the moral compass champions of the poor. And they had nothing to do with the scandal, which was in the region of 27 billion. Yeah, the VBS scandal was what? 2.7 billion rand was looted from VBS. And whose money was this? Poorest of the poor, their savings, predominantly black people, I would assume, in VBS. And Arthur Shamin Pillay, how are you? And so their hands were clean. Floyd Shivambu, Julius Malema were clear that they were nothing to do with it, and their hands were not dirty. Not because obviously the EFF shuns corruption. I mean, they out for William Kize, they out for Julius, they were out for Jacob Zuma to pay back the money. But here's the latest development. Brian Shivambu has now gone on record or has admitted to taking VBS money. He has now paid back, Azatuddin Osman, he has now paid back 4.5 million from a position of not us, we had nothing to do with it, we didn't steal any money, all allegations, we had nothing to do with it. Brian Shivambu, the brother of Floyd Shivambu, has now come out and made a statement, not a statement. By the way, this is all clouded in secrecy. It has to be secret. There's a secrecy clause that his attorney has drawn up on behalf of him that none of the details must be made public, blah, blah, blah. But 4.5 million rand, which he has accepted, that or he has acknowledged that this money was paid to him for nothing. For nothing. He's now come out and said, I have received 4.5 million rand for nothing. Right? That means he got paid for nothing. The money wasn't due to him, and he didn't deserve the payment. 4.5 million. He's now decided to pay back that 4.5 million rand that was paid to him by VBS Bank. Now, that 4.5 million is part of 16.7 million. The total amount paid to Brian Shivambu was 16.7 million. That was paid to Brian Shivambu. Is paid back. Hi, how are you, Casey? When will the stop get the right for ANC is good? Get rid of the ANC, she means. How's it, Christina Governor? How are you? Well, Mayor Mali, Jason, Joseph, I don't think this is going to stop now. And a lot of things are still to come out of the woodwork that we don't know about. But yeah, so 2.7 billion stolen in total from VBS Bank. Brian Shivambu, the brother of Floyd Shivambu, was paid 16 million. He's now decided to come out and say, well, 4.5 million of that I will return because I got paid for nothing. But thanks to Daily Maverick and the Scorpion, who have been investigating this matter since last year, and the Daily Maverick, by the way, if you're not a subscriber to the Daily Maverick, go and subscribe to the Daily Maverick. Give them a payment for the work they do. I just want to touch on that. The Daily Maverick and Scorpion, I think Scorpion is part of Daily Maverick, the investigative unit. The amount of work that the Daily Maverick does for South Africa and its citizens, I think, is highly commendable. A lot of the shit, like this shit that's coming out now, and all the shit is due to the investigative work of the Maverick, the Daily Maverick. And they are the ones exposing this corruption and all of that. So a small subscription to them, which I've subscribed to them, that's why I get their mails and I get their stuff. It's an online platform, obviously, and if you subscribe and pay them a small amount every month, it allows them to continue to do their work, which is a lot of the police work that they are doing, the investigative work. Ashley says, I haven't joined your channel in a while, always so informative and so to the point. Thank you, Ashley. Lal Chandan. Yeah, so we're talking about that. I think the Daily Maverick really needs to be supported in their investigative work. The monies, by the way, from Brian Shivambu was funneled and channeled back to Floyd Shivambu and EFF and Julius Malema. So basically what they got, they took the money, they paid it to somebody, like somebody pays the money to me, says, yes, 20 million for you. Right, now give us 15 million back and pay us like this, like that, as if they're doing services for me, whatever. That's how you channel the money and funnel the money out. So let's say somebody paid me 20 million and they say to me, right, no, pay us for sound, pay us for lighting, pay us for this, pay us for transport, and I just pay them for security or whatever. That's how you channel the money back into other people. So Floyd Shivambu definitely was, and Julius Malema and the EFF. The Maverick has found out, the Daily Maverick has found out that they have spent the money on things like luxurious cars, luxury clothing, restaurant. They bought a restaurant in Soweto, holidays. The EFF's 4th birthday in Amlazi was funded by these funds coming from the VBS and Brian Shivambu. So, I wonder where Julius Malema and Floyd Shivambu will put. But being true politicians, which I can't be because I get affected by small things, being proper politicians, I'm sure they'll come out of it. I'm sure it's water off their back that there's a matter of a couple of billion that's been stolen from the mouths of ordinary citizens, VBS Bank, those who banked with VBS, and the municipalities that banked with VBS. That money effectively stolen. 4.5 million being paid back by Brian Shivambu saying, well, here's my payment now. Maybe you can stay quiet. I'm giving you out some money back, and maybe I'll just stay quiet. I don't think the Daily Maverick, like I said, the Daily Maverick does a lot of work. Ashley says probably because your leaders are more interested in building nation, not looting them. Yeah, that's the truth. If people ask me about politics and why we are in the situation, I always say some people might know I say this. It's not because we don't have good politicians or whatever. I think we have some good politicians, good people. But in order for things to work, there must be a will, a political will, a will to want to do something. For example, the Minister of Transport, he must have a will to put things right in the transport industry. The Minister of Health must have a will to want to put things right. They got no fucking care. No care in the world. They don't care two shits. And I always say this, the biggest crime I think they're committing is not to you and I as ordinary citizens. It's to the poorest of the poor. And who's the poorest of the poor? 80% of this country, the black population that they are robbing, your own brothers and sisters. Come on. This is just, I keep saying that. The biggest crime to me is that you're stealing from the poorest of the poor. And the majority of the poorest of the poor are the black. Like Julius Malema and the EFF who fight for economic freedom, who are fighting for the poorest of the poor, who are fighting for the man on the ground, the man on the street. Right? That's what the EFF is about. The EFF is about the man on the street, the guy running the tuck shop, the guy unemployed. Those are the people the EFF is fighting for. Economic freedom for them to liberate them, to give them a better life. And you go fight with clicks for making a racist comment. And then you go steal billions and millions, or millions and billions. Shadi says, only care about lining their pockets, no shame. The more and more you read about the amount of money, billions and trillions have been stolen. I mean, how much could have been done for housing? I mean, there's a joke going around that since 1994, the ANC has given out more free t-shirts than they've given out houses, So it's just, they just lack the political will to want to do anything. They just have a don't care attitude. I mean, at some point, look, here's my thinking. And let's be honest about this, every government in the world steals. Every government. Don't talk to me about a pure politician. In fact, even if you're a pure person and you're really a morally upright person, which is why I don't go into politics, you will be tainted. You will make decisions to please others, and you will be tainted. Politics 101. It's going to happen. Don't show me a straight arrow politician. Dean Smith says you have to distract the masses while you steal from them. Absolutely true, Dean Smith. So steal. Everyone's gonna steal. But hell, man, don't steal the freaking table, chairs, and everything that you leave something behind. Leave something for the people. Keep them working. Keep the taxpayers running. Keep us making money so that you can steal some money. But hell, man, you want to take everything. It's actually a stupid way of stealing and a stupid way of well, let's say the ANC is running the country, right? The ANC is the government of the day. The ANC is going to make a lot of money running this country. Out of stealing, out of whatever, out of siphoning funds, pushing it here, pushing it there. Right? If you are in a business, let's say you ran a company. Put yourself in a situation. The Lani put you in charge of the shop or whatever. The Lani put you in charge. The Lani doesn't come there, he left you in charge. You're a good worker, he put you in charge. Now every day you steal one bottle, you steal one bread, you steal something, you sort your throw out, you sort your neighbor out, you sort the other neighbor out, you steal a little bit more. Right. You steal to an extent that you get yourself sorted out, your neighbor sorted out, your cousin sorted out, your cousin brother sorted out, right. But you don't steal to an extent that you fucking take half the shop away, and then the shop closes down, and then you don't have a shop anymore. You get my point? When you're going to steal so that you're going to continuously steal for another 10 years, and you'll be sorted out. Right now, the ANC is stealing the whole shop. They're taking the fucking shelving and the till and everything, and then there won't be a shop left anymore to generate money. Now, I'm not condoning stealing. The point is that if you're going to take something, take little at a time, which every politician, every country, every government does. That you must take for granted. There's no pure government. Take it, and I come to Joburg anytime soon. Yusuf, I live in Joburg. Yusuf, what's wrong with you? Ask him coming to Joburg anytime soon. Yeah, but to me, the ANC wants to steal everything, steal the shop, steal the shelving, and all of that, and then there'll be nothing left. And that's what's happening to poor South Africa. There is almost nothing left. Right, let me end with the story, and I'll talk about it tomorrow as well. We got 10 minutes to go to the program. By the way, tonight at 8 o'clock, it's the quiz. We got the quiz coming up tonight. On the program. Ashley says sustainable stealing. Correct. Sustainable stealing. Can't we have sustainable stealing? Allow the country to run. Allow us to make money. Steal the fucking rest. Allow us to run. Give us our service delivery. Give us our roads. Cut the grass. Give us our electricity. Steal the rest. We all want to live and survive. Locke says, leave something. Indeed. It's like don't milk the cow, kill it and chow it. 100% Elvis. That's exactly the point. They want to kill the cow. Take the milk, you got 10 liters, steal 3 liters, give 7 to the public. Take your 3 liters, take your 4 liters. Take your 5 liters too. Give us 5 liters, we'll share it and we'll survive. But at least the cow is still there. At least the cow is still producing the milk. These are want to rape the cow and kill the cow. That's the problem. That's just we can't deal with that. So tonight at 8 o'clock, by the way, is our, if you don't know the guys on TikTok, you might join me on TikTok as well. We will we do the quiz tonight. So Wednesday night is going to be quiz night, 20 questions. And tonight I'm going to be giving away, let me find it for you. Right. Tonight, this beanie or these beanies here, some of my merchandise, mother beanies for 100 Rand, up for grabs. One of these up for grabs tonight. So I'm trying to give away prizes where I can. If you run any business and you want to donate prizes to the quiz, I will obviously give you some marketing for that as well. But tonight, the first prize is this beanie from me to you. If you first, today. No, Kubasti, tonight is a prize, a definite prize. And I will courier to your door. If you're in Durban or anywhere in the country, it's fine. Durban or Joburg, I will courier to you. You watched the new Kandasam. Yes, I did watch the new Kandasamis. Kyle, Zuma, and the Guptas are an example of crying. Indeed, they are. Load shedding for us. Yeah, how's load shedding being, by the way? Load shedding is coming on for me from 2:30 or 2:04. 2:04 for me today. I know most of you might be load shedding tonight. But those of you who are on, let's see how many people are on, and then we'll give out the prizes tonight. Sorry, TikTokers will only get winners from Facebook, but you can join the quiz. So tonight is the quiz, and 8 o'clock tonight. Let's get the questions ready for that. If you were on my program last year, you will know that I'm generally repeating all the lockdown quizzes. So if you lock down ready, Kubashni says they will rape the cow, kill the cow, and still blame the cow. Indeed. Final story to let you go before we go at 1 o'clock. A woman in Tembisa has given birth to not 6, not 7, not 8, with the thought, 8, not 9, 10. 10. Woman in Tembisa has given birth to 10 children. 10. 7 boys and 3 girls, I think, as far as I know. 10 children. What do you call 10 children? 6 called sextuplets. 8 is called octuplets. So let's ask you quickly, what do you call 10 children? Oh, 10. Vishal says broke the Guinness World Record. Yes, it is a world-breaking. Ki Varilal says a headache. That's a good one. You should get a prize for that one. 10 kids, he calls it a headache. I think it's a massive headache. What do you call 10 kids, by the way? before we end the program at 1 o'clock. And don't forget the quiz tonight at 8 o'clock. So she's got 10 kids. And what do you call 10 kids? Well, I'll get my play-out track ready for you. Nobody's given the answer. It's Kubashni says a nightmare. It's decuplets. So dec is decade. Vishal says dectuplets. I think it's decuplets. You could be all right, Vishal. Dectuplets is not asking decuplets. Decuplets. 10 children called decuplets. So there we go. 10:56. What would you do with 10 kids? I mean, you gotta put yourself in that position. By the way, they've got 2 other kids. They've got twins. 2 others. So now they've got 12, not 10. They've got 12. The 2 other kids are 6 years old. They're twins. That's the information I got. They are twins. Not 2 twins. They are twins. And so the 2 twins will be 4. They are twins. Hello, Jackie. Question and Jackie. Decuplets 10, and they've got 2 other kids, 6 years old. They are twins. So they've got 12 children. How is the feeding going to go? You can't breastfeed. You can't breastfeed. You can't breastfeed 10 kids. You only got 2 nipples. And they're going to drain you. How do you feed 10 kids? How do you? Sure. Decuplets. I think they're going to need a lot of help, by the way. Do you think they should, might be wrong to say give away or put up for adoption? I mean, realistically, can if you're not well-to-do, let's be honest, I don't think they live in Tembisa, so I'm not saying they're not well-to-do, I'm not saying the poor, I'm saying even if they're average people. 10, 12 kids to look after, hell man. 2 kids to look after is going to drain someone in the current economic climate. 10 kids, do you think giving them up for adoption might be, there are people who want children. Sher Singh says she's actually asking for help. Okay, I never planned to ask this, but do you not think that maybe, look, it's our kids, to give them away can't be easy, should be seen as an irresponsible parent. But do you not think that giving them up for adoption might be best bet? She'll never be able to look after them. Government should give some assistance, putting South Africa on the map, fill in the cap. Well, how much assistance can government give and for how long? Remember, your 10 kids are not only here for 6 months and 12 months and 2 years and 5 years. They're here for 18 to 20 years and even longer after that. They're still staying with you. They're still your responsibility. Giving them hampers now and nappies now for 1 or 2 years. And then thereafter, the schooling, putting 10 children into school, feeding them lunches, uniforms. Man, it's got to be look, it's first time in the world, it's a world record, but really that's got to be acting, I think. I don't know. Not easy to say. I suppose if she does that, no help will be provided. There will be a lot of sponsors. Yeah. I don't know. But anyway. 12:58, 12:59, leading up to 1 o'clock. We've done 30 minutes on my share thing. Government can't help anyone, only help themselves. Indeed. Let me say goodbye to the guys on TikTok as we close up the end there on TikTok, and out of TikTok while I'm still live on Facebook. Not bad, 485 people watching on TikTok. 1 glitter, I've got 1 diamond. Got 5 diamonds from someone. Right, so that's it for the midday report. Catch you tonight. World record that don't they get financial from government? I don't know. How much will help the government? How much can they give them? A couple of thousands and then what? After that? Right, see you guys later. 8 o'clock tonight is the quiz. Coming up Wednesday, quiz night. You're going to win a beanie. That is 100 Rand from me. And if you run a company, another business, you want to give a prize away, now's the time to do it. You get on the program and I give you some publicity for it, and you give out a prize for the quiz. Definitely going to be a Wednesday. Might be another day as well. Maybe one Monday and Wednesday. We run 2 quizzes, different type of quizzes. But yeah, I'm probably starting to reach, like my consoles are getting scratchy. Right, until 8 o'clock tonight, keep it mild. The name is Casey Caro. I'm out, darlings.